Hi, everyone. This is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from, I don't really have something for South Africa. Exciting and wild? I'll come up with something. Been in South Africa for a few days. It's been a pretty crazy trip. The beard is growing, certainly. It's been every day waking up very early and working until like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. We've had a lot of cool meetings. We met with the central bank, had dinner over at Cyril Ramaphosa's place last night in Cape Town. We've had a chance to talk to CEO of ShopRite and their innovation division and a litany of other people while we were here. Obviously did a speech right when I arrived with the City of Cape Town's Innovation Hub. And it's been real interesting to see all the opportunities. There's so much commercial activity that's here in Cape Town, and there's so many opportunities to kind of use this as a launch pad to a Pan-African strategy. We're still going to Zanzibar and Burundi and Kenya and Ethiopia and Egypt, and there's tons of meetings there. We have 3 heads of state in the queue left on the trip. And we're learning a lot as we go, and there's certainly a lot of great deal flow that's going to come from that. Now, while I've been running around Africa, there's obviously we're digesting the smart contract launch that occurred last month, and what's coming in late October, early November is the launch of the PAB. And I've noticed a few things floating around Twitter. I haven't had really time to check, and Reddit. And the usual FUD, they relate to things like scalability and TPS rate and other such things, and it's pretty puzzling to me. Parameterization of Cardano is pretty easy. You can go from 16 kilobyte blocks to much higher very quickly, and there's a lot of technology that will be rolled out in the coming 3 to 9 month period that relates to scalability. The point of Goguen was getting the programming model out, and the point of Basho is making that programming model work at a large scale. So people obviously have to learn a lot. They have to learn about the design patterns. We're still waiting on the sidechains to come out. There's all kinds of things there. And obviously the first generation of the Plutus application backend is going to be a pretty interesting thing, and it's going to lead to lots of development iterations, and we'll be on a pretty good cycle on a weekly basis for improving the development experience and quality. And as the first wave of Cardano applications come, like the Sunday swaps and the melds and these other things, they're obviously going to write a lot of code, and some of it will be easy and some of it will be hard, and we'll learn along the way. But that's how ecosystems evolve and grow, and there's no way to get out of that. Unfortunately, our industry tends to live in a mindset of it all has to be available today, right here, right now, in every capacity. And if it's not, then it's somehow wrong or bad. And so we're making deals, we're doing business. The ecosystem is quite strong and secure, and we've never actually seen this much demand before. So it's pretty humbling, and the community's been great. Prism Pioneers program is just about to begin at the end of October. And obviously we just had the Plutus Pioneers capstone, and as I mentioned, the PAB coming out in November is going to be a big bellwether. A lot of progress on Hydra, as you guys saw at the conference, and also Mithril in particular is coming along very quickly. And it's a very high priority for me, and we keep scaling up. Dilic Labs and Gawa are the 2 firms working on on Mithril. And that's something that's pivotal for the light client use of Cardano on both the main chain as well as the side chains. Mamba team is doing very well. I think by January we should have the disconnected side chains fully productized. That means the Yella and EVM chains can run as betas and people can use things for them. And it's just a question of when to integrate them. So overall, it's a very healthy, very vibrant ecosystem. There's an enormous amount of parallelization working at the moment. There's 14 teams that are working on different things, at least on our side and on our ecosystem side. And then there's, as I've mentioned, dozens of commercial projects that are basically underway, fully funded, and ready to go. And you guys saw with Catalyst Challenge just how many pitches are occurring, and how vibrant the Catalyst ecosystem is. So things are looking good. and I'm pretty happy with the overall progress of Cardano. And I think that we're exactly where we need to be, and we're going to have an extremely strong year in 2022. This was a great year because a lot of things in the system finally woke up. And next year, we finally get to see large-scale commercialization of Cardano. And that's really the important part. So I wouldn't worry too much about particular system parameterizations and worry too much about particular things, because all of that stuff, as needed, will change and evolve very quickly and rapidly. And of course, there's always going to be features that are going to be debated, like whether to include read-only UTXO or these types of things or not. Certainly, some people have commercial disagreements, and that's the point of sidechains. So no matter how amazing the extended UTXO model is, if you come from an object-oriented imperative world, you're a JavaScript developer, you're probably always going to be more comfortable with EVM. And the point of Cardano is the island, the ocean, the pond model. You don't have to make these compromises. As these systems and tools roll out, you'll be able to decide the computation model that makes most sense for your business domain. And that was what we wrote in the original white paper in 2016 with the settlement layer and the control layer. What's really amazing is that people just don't read. We tell them what we're going to do, we do it, and we roll it out. The settlement layer is basically the routing layer for all the control layers of the system, and you have many different computational models. By the way, the industry is parroting this model in many respects. Ethereum 2 has this idea, as does Polkadot with parachains and so forth. So there's validation from people who came after the Cardano white paper about that programming model. And actually, Plutus is amazingly verbose as a secure language. The extended UTXO in Plutus is Turing complete. You can write pretty much anything you'd write on Ethereum in Plutus. Some people will want to do it that way and enjoy the high assurance and low transaction costs. Some people are going to want to do it with the Ethereum model. Cardano will support both. So that's the way it is. There is a lot of toxicity, and a lot of fake news, and a lot of people just saying horrible things. It's not clear to me if these are bots or just misled people, but it's, to be expected. Cardano is a huge ecosystem. It's very prominent, and it encumbers a lot of hatred and fear. That's completely unfounded and unfair, but it does because of the nature of its position in the marketplace and the fact that many people for a long time took a very adversarial position, and our success discredits them. So just stick with it, and it's always been a game of months and years, not of days and weeks, and it's always been a game of what is the next step and how things get responsibly rolled out. Smart contracts have been available with Cardano since September, and it's been amazing to see that the network tolerated that quite well, and it continues to grow. And as the PAB comes online, other parameters will be augmented to handle the additional load, and just in time when there's massive load coming, Hydra and the sidechain model will come out, which will accommodate that load. That's always been by design, and we're operating on a roadmap that has expanded more than 5 years, and we've systematically, as an ecosystem, executed that roadmap month after month, year after year, hard fork after hard fork. The network's never collapsed. We never had to reset the network like certain other cryptocurrencies out there, and the community continues to grow. We continue to see more and more commercial interest. We continue to see more and more developer interest and so forth. So realistically speaking, I just don't understand the issues, but I figured I'd touch bases because we haven't had a chance to talk, you and me, the community, in a while because I've been on vacation, and after that I've been running around Africa, and we've been very busy. And hopefully I'll be able to do an AMA, if not tonight, then before I head off to Zanzibar. So thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate it. And a lot of great things to come. As always, there's Cardano 360 at the end of the month. And I think we just did the mid-month update. And next month, or late this month, depending on how they cut it, PAB will be out. And we'll see a huge wave of commercial activity start turning online. Cheers.